Today, I want to deal with three things. I hope I have all the time for it. I want to deal with three things that has come repeatedly, and I think the church is dancing around it, but somebody must have the courage to confront it. All the videos on my platform, I get to see comments. I find time to read comments. And then I get into DMs from time to time to respond. When I have the time, sometimes when I'm flying, I just take the time to respond. And repeatedly among singles, I don't know why you will not naturally expect that this conversation should be predominant in the church, but amazingly, that is where this whole conversation is coming from. Church people. There are quite a number of them, but I've decided to zero in on three of them today. And number one is pornography. Number two is masturbation. Number three is cohabitation. Does that sound like something serious? Absolutely. So we want to talk about overcoming. If you have not been tempted by it, if you have not experienced it, let me use today to prepare you against it. If you are in it, let me use today to call you out of it. If you've been in it before, maybe today will give you a significant reason not to go back there again. So I want to talk to you about overcoming pornography, masturbation, and cohabitation. Pastor Sam, what has that got to do with those of us who are singles? It has everything. Let me give you a practical example. A lady called me yesterday. I think I was on my way from Calabar, flying into Abuja. And the lady said she want to talk with me. Somehow she got my number. And I said, go ahead and talk to me. I said, what's the problem? She said, it's with the guy that I'm in relationship with. She said, I'm in Lagos currently. I was based in Abuja before. And I said, what exactly is the problem? She said, well, this guy initially showed up like a church person, very spiritual and all of that, and gave her an impression he wants to marry her. And because she is somebody who is involved with handwork, she was told that it would be better for her to come over to Lagos, that she will do well in Lagos. And of course, a lot of people do better in Lagos when it comes to some career. And she decided to relocate to Lagos, but she didn't have the money to rent a place. So the young man said, no problem, come stay with me. Big mistake. No problem. This is the guy I want to marry. So she said, somebody even told her that she should get to know him better, that by living together, she gets to know him better. So she moved into his house. And this lady said to me, Reverend Sam, in fact, I was so angry yesterday. I said, if I have my way, I'm going to make sure that we institute a case. I have somebody who is in the criminal division of the police in Lagos, a senior person. I felt tempted to call so that they can get this guy arrested. When this girl began to share with me the kind of experiences she has gone through, so he will beat her, break her nose, she will be bleeding, then he will be dragging her around the house. So there will be blood everywhere in the house. I'm saying blood everywhere. Then when he is done, he will use rag to clean the ones he can, and then mandate her to clean blood out of the house. And then when he is done, he will then come to demand for sex. I'm telling you what goes on. Now, but she didn't tell me about that side of it. But as a trained person, I know wherever physical abuse is present in a closed environment, sexual abuse always follows. I said, sweetheart, you've gone through sexual abuse. You don't want to talk about it. And she said, sir, I have to open up and tell you this is what has happened. I said, what is it? She said, because he's a very tall guy. Tall, dark, and handsome. Okay. She said, because he is a very tall guy and she's of average height. Pastor, you will not believe what I'm telling you. She said he will carry her, twist. I don't know how he does it. He would twist her legs behind. Then he will punch her shoulder. She said, sir, that will totally disarm her, and that he will do whatever he wants with her because her legs are in twisted position. That he has a way of using his legs to trap her legs. I am angry as I'm talking to you. It might make you feel like you want to smile. I want you to imagine you are the girl waking up with that kind of situation. And you might feel like, now waiting to her. May you not find one that she never knew he was such. She got home to find out that he is one. Twist her legs. Use his height and everything to keep her under control. Do whatever he wants to do. And she said again, she will be bleeding. He finishes and he walks out of the house. He comes back and tells her to clean up the place. And when she's withdrawn, because she still have to stay there, she has nowhere else to go. Who is she going to tell? When he comes and he meets her in a wrapped up position, you say, what is wrong with you? Is it that small thing that happened that is making you to behave like this? I'm telling you what is going on. And on Sunday, he gets himself together and he goes to church. Yeah? Goes to church. I'm talking to you about what's going on. Just one choice has forever damaged her life. What choice was that? The choice to do what? Say it again. To cohabit. Just one choice. She will never, for the rest of her life, except God really helps her, she will never forget that experience. Cut a long story short, sir. All of a sudden, this same guy called her, booted out of the house, told her to come. And he will open her bag, check the bag, say, nothing from my house must enter your bag. Get out of my house. Like she said, he was checking her bag to make sure no toilet roll. Gave her nothing. She left with nothing. She lost everything. Let me introduce some of you. I'm sure they will show you the slides. There's not so much I can share with you on the slide. But let me introduce some of you to a concept in psychology that we call operant conditioning. Follow me carefully today. This might be one of the best teachings, but you will need sound mind to catch up with me. There is a concept in psychology, for those of you who are students of psychology, there is a concept called operant conditioning, which undergirds what we call the law of behavioral momentum. Now, this law states that we repeat what is rewarded. We as human beings, we repeat what rewards us. And then whatever is costly or painful, we reduce it. or eventually we stop it. If it costs me pain, it costs me pain. I eventually have to reduce my interaction with whatever is the source of pain. Is that correct? Anything that gives you pain, you walk away from. But anything that gives you pleasure, anything that rewards you, anything that makes you happy, the brain is wired to send you back there. Is that correct? The lady never saw a reason why she should eventually summon up the courage to walk away from this guy until the beatings began to become unbearable. All right? So the point we're making here is that operant condition improves one thing. That behavior is usually shaped by consequences or by cost. The way we behave is usually shaped by the consequences that we get, which includes reward or cost. Meaning, I will continue to do what gives me pleasure. All right? If I always have a way of talking to girls and they come to my house and I end up sleeping with them and I get pleasure from that. See, because I always get rewarded by such behavior, what's going to happen to such behavior? I will continue such behavior. But if I touch one girl and it landed me in prison where police people bet me so very well, now the next time I see another girl, it will create a sense of what? Caution. Are you getting what I'm saying here? Now, how many of you have ever carried a pressing iron and mistakenly your hand touched the surface when it was hot? Anybody with you? Fantastic. Has anybody ever mistakenly touched a pot that was very hot? Glory. Why did your hand move so quickly? I'm only speaking. I've never landed. You know, see, it's called trauma. You can remember. Is that okay? Very good. Next time when you want to carry a pot because you've been burnt, have you noticed that the next thing you want to do is you want to be careful? You either touch it to be sure it's not that hot, or you get something to carry it. Okay? So in operant conditioning, we say that behavior that rewards us, we always continue in such. But behaviors that cost us so much, almost cost me my life, almost cost me my job, almost cost me opportunity, my reputation. What do we do with such behaviors? We walk away from such behavior. So reward increases behavior. Cost reduces bad behavior. There are 4 major drivers. When it comes to behavior, there are 4 major behavioral mechanics in psychology. 4 major behaviors. Number 1 is what we call the negative reinforcement. Number 2 is positive reinforcement. Follow me, because I really want to open your eyes to some things today. There are 4 major drivers of behaviors. The first one is what we call positive reinforcement. Then there is a second one we call negative reinforcement. There's what we call punishment, and then there is what we call response cost. Let me take them one after the other. When it comes to positive reinforcement, we are saying that whenever pleasure increases, behavior grows. Positive reinforcement. Meaning that if I enjoy the thing, I will continue the behavior that made me enjoy the thing. So please follow carefully, because this is going to take us to pornography, masturbation, that has become a thing in the church that nobody seems to be able to deal with decisively. So note this. In operant behavior, one of the drivers of it is positive reinforcement. The other one is negative reinforcement. Let's start with positive reinforcement. Anytime I have increased pleasure from anything, I will always go back to that thing. Anything that gives me increased pleasure. Please write that down. That's very key in our conversation. Increased pleasure attracts return patronage. Increased pleasure always attracts a return. I enjoyed it, so I go back to it. I liked it, so I go back to it. Keep your eyes on the word pleasure. Keep your eyes on the word pleasure, because pleasure trains repetition. Write it down. Pleasure trains repetition. Pleasure is the foundation for repetition. Meaning, it's not that the thing is strong. It's just that the thing gives me caparadosia. Are you getting what we're saying now? So this is not about that thing is very difficult for me to overcome. No. It's not that it's difficult to overcome. The reason why I say it's difficult to overcome, now I am understanding that the reason why I can't stop it is because I enjoy what? Can I hear it? The pleasure in it. So what takes me back to it is the pleasure I get from it. This will make you understand what drives drug addiction. It's the same concept, all right? It's positive reinforcement. That's why if you notice when you travel, the Chinese people, whenever you are passing by their restaurant, there's something the Chinese people always do. They always stay outside with their meat and all of that. Those of you that have traveled know what I'm talking about. Then they want to say, hey, sorry, it's a test. Yeah, try it. What are they trying to do? They want to get you hooked up, okay? Because the moment you taste and see. Is that okay? That's the concept. It is to awaken your desire for pleasure so that pleasure can be the basis for return. Oh, glory be to God. So I'm trying to show you how the devil works in these days. The whole idea is to introduce pleasure to you, and pleasure then becomes the reason for return. So we're not battling with the thing. We're battling with what the thing offers. Sex is not what we are battling with. What are we battling with? The pleasure that we get from sex. Sex offers pleasure. God did not create sex as a bad thing. God created sex to give pleasure. But the issue with pleasure that you get from sex is that you are not to be exposed to it until certain times, when certain things have been put in place, which includes the fact that you've been legally married. That's why the book of Solomon says, awaken not my love. Don't awake it. Oh, glory be to God. Don't awake it. What you're about to start may send you on a spiral way downward beyond recovery. So you're not battling with a strong thing. You're battling with a pleasurable thing. It's the pleasure that you find difficult to overcome. We will deal with how to overcome pleasure today. So one of the major drivers of behavior is positive reinforcement, which is behavior driven by pleasure gotten. Positive reinforcement. Behavior that continues because of the pleasure you get from the thing. The thing may be bad, but the pleasure is good. Are you get what I'm saying now? The thing may not be right for you now, but the pleasure you get from it is something you can't walk away from. You love the pleasure. Number two is what we call negative reinforcement. Follow me carefully now. Now, in positive reinforcement, you are hooked onto a behavior because of the pleasure you get. In negative reinforcement, you are hooked onto a behavior because of the kind of discomfort it decreases. So negative reinforcement gives you relief. You know, get closer now. One gives you sweet stuff. Positive reinforcement. It puts sugar in your mouth. Positive reinforcement. So when you drink the sugar cane, you get the sugar from it. Is that okay? So you always want to go for the cane because you have the sugar in the cane. Are you getting what I'm saying here, sir? Who wants to live with the cane? The cane is not something you really want to live with for the rest of your life. But the sugar that you get from the inside will make you even carry it as if it's something pleasurable. All right? It's the pleasure you get from the cane that keeps you to the cane, that keeps you with the cane. So positive reinforcement has to do with pleasure I get. Watch this now. In negative reinforcement, we are talking about the fact that there are things that stresses me. But anytime I do this thing, it takes that thing away. So anytime I'm stressed up and I do this, the stress is gone. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So whenever I am stressed again, what do? I go back there and then I do whatever I have to do so that I can get rid of stress. Okay? Now, once that is the experience, this thing always takes away from me stress. This thing always takes away from me boredom. This thing always takes away from me sexual pressure. All right? So because of that, I do it. Okay? And when I do it, I feel relief. Now, anytime again I am stressed, I go back to the same. It takes away from me the stress. And then I get relief. It creates a loop. That's how you get into what we call the loop of bad behavior. One makes me happy. One gives me joy. One puts pleasure right at the center of my heart. The other one takes away from me what we call stressors. It takes stressors away from me. Now, so because of that, I'm always going back to it. Anytime I watch the movie, I watch all this particular movie, there's this thing it takes away. It makes me sleep. There's this thing that always happens anytime I enter the bathroom and I masturbate myself. There's this thing it does to me. So negative reinforcement deals with the stress relief that I get from engaging in a behavior. Are you following what I'm saying? We need to lay the foundation. So whenever discomfort is decreased, what then happens is behavior grows. Anything that decreases my discomfort, anything I do that decreases my discomfort, I want to engage in it more and more. All right? For instance, I go to drink. As you know, I was worried about something, but when I started drinking, binging and all that kind of, I forget about the whole stuff. So wow. Okay, so what happens again? I do whenever I feel that way, I go back. Okay? So follow that carefully. Number 3. Wow. So write this down. Relief strengthens bad habits. The relief we get can strengthen bad habits. The relief you get from something can strengthen a bad habit. Number 3, is what we call punishment. Punishment. We're talking about what drives behavior. So watch this carefully. Anytime there is increased discomfort from anything I do, what normally happens to me? I don't do it again. Is that correct? Anything that results in discomfort, I don't do it again. That's too hard. That's why many of us run away from mathematics, physics. God seems just looking good. Now I don't understand. The teacher is talking. You are looking. I no get them. Yeah. All right. So because of that, you don't return to that class. But this class, I did mind just telling stories, history class. I like this teacher. Okay. Let's get down. So punishment, which has to do with increased discomfort. Don't forget that when we look at negative reinforcement, what negative reinforcement does is to make sure it looks at what makes me uncomfortable. And then through a behavior, it gets rid of that uncomfortable situation or discomfort. But in punishment, Instead of you taking away the discomfort, you introduce what? Discomfort. As a result of that, I avoid such behavior. For instance, if kneeling down to pray keeps me on my knees and my knees pains me for a long time, that discomfort can gradually begin to affect you and make it difficult for you to kneel down to pray. Follow me. Number 4, response cause. Anytime privilege is reduced, behavior will also stop. When the privilege you normally get, if it's reduced from something, I don't get money from this guy, that's why I don't go to him anymore. I don't get money from that girl, so I don't go to her anymore. This thing doesn't add any value to my life. What's all this thing? It doesn't give me any pleasure. So, because it has decreased value in terms of cost, I have to avoid it. So behavior functions like a businessman. Are you getting where we're going to now? Behavior is majorly driven. High behavior towards a particular thing, increased behavior in a particular direction is always increased as a result of the pleasure, the benefit we get from that thing. Is that established in this class now? All right, follow me carefully. So let's get down to pornography. That's where we're going to start today. What is pornography? What is pornography? There's been so many confusion about this subject in the church. What generally is pornography? I've been looking for a definition that will really get it home until I found a globally accepted definition by Hald and Malamuth. Two of them, they gave a description of pornography that I think will be of very great interest to all of us. They said, pornography is any form of content intended to arouse or enhance arousal in the recipient, at the same time containing explicit exposure to and or descriptions of the genitalia, that's the vagina or the penis, okay, as well as clear and explicit sexual acts. Pornography, okay, like sexual activity, bondage, sadomasochism, all right, sexual assault, urine sex, animal sex, etc. What are they saying? They are saying that pornography is any form of content, please follow carefully, that is intended. The goal of pornography is to create arousal. Oh, Shaga tell you. Please keep that in mind, that the ultimate goal of all pornographic content is to ensure that your sexual desire is what? Aroused. It is to cause erection in a man, ejaculation in a man. It is to cause the clitoris of a woman to swell, her G-spot to be activated. It is to ensure that a woman ultimately gets to orgasm by watching interactions. So everything said in the pornographic, in the pornographic material, whether it is in words, because you can have situations whereby it is phone situation, whereby somebody's talking and creating mental image. I've seen situations whereby some people are trained as sexologists. We do the studies. There are some people that are trained. Listen, when they start talking to you pornographically, they can create images in your mind more than what you are even watching can create. There are people like that. So what we are saying is very simple. That the goal of pornography, keep that in mind. The goal of pornography is aimed at one thing. So anytime you see naked women, anytime you see naked men, anytime you're watching individuals having sex, don't forget that the goal is aimed at your soul. It's aimed at arousing you sexually. No matter what it looks like, the ultimate goal. Hald and Malamuth said it is any content that is intended to arouse or enhance arousal. So if it is not doing it directly, it is doing it indirectly. I saw this particular definition from a man they call J.W. Slade. It said the term pornography or porn is typically used to describe representations designed to arouse. Can you see that again? Designed to arouse and provide sexual pleasure to people who read, see, hear, or handle them. I'm trying to take you to the domain of pornography. That the whole concept of pornography is designed, architectured. It is engineered towards arousing or providing sexual pleasure to those who read such pornographic materials, those who see them, those who hear them, and those who handle them. What are the effects of pornography? What are the effects on singles? This one shocked me. What are the effects? Do you know you can become desensitized by constant exposure to pornography? What that means is that you see so much of it that you are swimming in it. It has become normal to you. Water is not strange to a fish. It is the world of its existence. Fish will not know the value of water until the day you take it out to a dry land. Am I correct? It is natural for the eagles to exist at certain altitude. It's their domain of existence. It's nothing strange to them. They breathe well there. You may find it difficult to breathe there, but they breathe well. Here's the point I'm making. Be careful, let pornography become your normal environment. It can become your normal environment. Why? We now live in a world whereby everywhere it is flooding you from every direction. Your mails, on social media, on WhatsApp, on Telegram, on Instagram, it's coming at you from everywhere. The whole idea is to ensure that you turn here, you see, you turn there, you see it. If you're not careful, you surrender to it. You become desensitized. And at that moment, it begins to work the greatest damage in you. Because it becomes your new environment. What are some of the effects? So many of them, but I just want to mention few today. And I hope that would truly help somebody here to wake up. As we talk about getting married this year. How many of us want to get married this year? Wave your hands. This is something we need to deal with as we talk about getting married this year. Now, a recent research demonstrated the link between pornography, the use of pornography, and self-esteem. Look up here. How that pornography, watching porn, has the tendency. Now, let's put something very straight. Anytime you talk about pornography, when you go online, like some of you may have gone online now, the next thing they're going to tell you is that they will tell you that it is healthy to watch pornography. Okay? They'll just tell you that the only thing is that don't watch too much of it. Wait a minute. So if there is something called too much of it, the Bible tells us that if it has the potential to affect you, the Bible says run away from what? All appearance of something that is what? Evil. So if this sin has a potential to create pain later, don't talk to me about the fact that it can make you happy now. Because from little, that when the next thing, the human mind is such that after a while, don't forget negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement. After a while, when I begin to enjoy it, I want to enjoy more. I want to enjoy more. That's when it goes from 2 minutes of glancing to 20 minutes of glancing, and then to 2 hours of drowning in it, and then a whole day you get drowned in the whole thing. So it always begins with a foothold, and then it becomes what? A stronghold. So research has demonstrated that there is a link between pornography use and self-esteem. There is also a link between higher levels of problematic pornography consumption with lower self-esteem. So here's what we're saying, that many of us don't know that our self-esteem has been damaged by virtue of the fact that we've been exposed too much to pornography. Now, how does that affect my relationship? It is the reason why men who have been exposed to this and it has affected them, you will notice that they normally don't like to interact with ladies. They don't like to interact with confident ladies. So they are always going to be gravitating towards ladies who are subduable and available. I'm showing you how this thing affects your self-perception, your perception of self. Now, it is from your perception of self that you begin to have the issue of who to choose in marriage. So don't think it has no correlation. Pornography affects your self-image and then it affects who you choose. It has a way of influencing you. This is what the research is beginning to show. The research states, listen, I like this. Stewart and Zymanski in 2012 did a research, and this is what they found. They said there is a correlation between pornography and diminished self-worth. And it's true. I've met guys who are connected to pornography, and you notice they are usually introverted, and you know, they always like to keep to themselves. And when it comes to ladies that they are going to propose to, they're always looking for ladies who are very sheepish, dovish, the ladies who are passive, you know. And the problem with that is eventually when they settle with these girls, later when their confidence seems to be restored, they then realize that those girls are not the kind of person they would have loved to settle with. It affects your self-image. Let me give you a practical example. A lady was watching pornography, okay? And when she was watching, she saw that 3 guys were after a particular lady. This guy will come for this lady, and this other guy will come for this lady, and the other guy will come for that lady. Guess what she found out? She found out that all those 3 guys were interested in this lady because she had bigger boobs and bigger butt. She is not like that. Something immediately registered. She didn't know how that eventually began to affect her and made her to begin to see that the reason why guys are not coming for her is because of what? What she doesn't have. Can you see? It's a subtle conversation. You're watching it. You see, when you are watching it, you don't know what it's telling you. Guys, I know of a guy, in his own case, he began to watch pornography. And then he will see this guy that would thrust into a woman, go bop, 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 like that. He goes, and the guy will go in for like 30 minutes at a stretch. This guy, now married, found out that he can only last for no more than 10 minutes, 5 minutes. And the guy is like, because the wife told me, said, look, he will watch porn, so he will go back. Look, he wants to be free from porn. He wants to be free from porn addiction, but when he goes back to his wife, he can't perform more than 2, 3, 5 minutes or 10. Okay, so something then tells him maybe there's something wrong with you or the way you are doing it. Go back and watch that guy. He goes to watch the guy, and then he comes back to his wife. He can't go beyond 10 minutes. What he didn't know was that some of these guys are on drugs. Some of these things are scenes, different scenes put together. The guy comes back. Guess what he did, sir? In Bielsa, the guy decided to go out of his marriage. He said maybe something is wrong with his wife. Let him go and try outside. The moment he said let him go and try outside, sir, to return back home became an issue. Because he kept on trying to hit more than 10 minutes, and consistently he found himself always around 10 minutes. So he said, I will not go home until the day I can cross 10 minutes. You don't know what these things do to people. You don't know what these things do to people. Some people's lives are totally messed up. You see, you are just sitting with somebody, you are looking at them, they are speaking in tongues. Pornography is not in tongues. The damage of pornography is in the mind. And you can't tell who has been damaged by pornography. The sad part is that you may discover it at home. Pornography damages your self-worth. This is research-based. This is not from church. This is based on research. According to a research publication on problematic pornography use, published on the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health of 2024. Listen carefully to this. A total of 332 national and international students, 60% females, at an Italian university with a mean age of 23 years, standard deviation of 2.84, completed an anonymous online survey during the period from March 2023 to May 2023. A research done with over 332 nationals and internationals, with about 60% of them females, in an Italian university. What was the outcome? Let me read the outcome to you. The result shows that pornographic use was associated with higher levels of anxiety, depression, stress, loneliness, and watch this, and suicide ideations, as well as lower life satisfaction. This was shocking to me. Please, this was not done by a church. This is a research. So when you now find pastors, when you now find Christians trying to justify what the world itself is saying is wrong, what then is wrong with the church? How can the church be trying to make righteous what even the unrighteous world says is unrighteous? Look at the damage of pornography. This is in the international, this is published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health of 2024. Imagine the consequence of this very terrible thing. The result shows that pornographic use was associated with higher levels of anxiety. Not only that, it is also connected to depression, stress, loneliness, and suicide ideation, as well as lower life satisfaction. In fact, a gender comparison analysis revealed loneliness amongst men, while women scored higher in stress, anxiety, and lower life satisfaction. Ladies, what we're trying to say is that this damages you guys. It damages you. Pornography damages. You see, I didn't come here today to try to throw Bible on your face. I didn't come here to try to throw Bible on your face. What is the future effect of pornography on your marriage? This thing you are doing, this thing you are exposed to, what is the future effect of pornography on marriages, on couples, on relationship amongst couples? Another research by Albright in 2008 discovered that use of pornography can harm marriages. This is a research. Use of pornography can harm marriages, listen to this, by devaluing the worth of monogamy, by decreasing satisfaction with partners' sexual performance. After all, when I have seen something more dramatic, then I am with somebody who is in the house behaving like a Christian. The one I saw is going to be on my mind. Why can't she behave? Because I was watching where a girl was just saying, oh, hey, yeah. And this one, he said, yes, it's just there. And then, so the question in my mind is, I'm going to start asking myself, what is that guy doing that's making the other woman to cry? Are you get what I'm saying now? Not knowing the other one is paid to do what she's doing. Here am I now. I've already watched too much of pornography We have seen women moaning, crying. I've seen women screaming, my world, this world is coming to an end. And then you are hearing a woman crying, bring it to an end, bring this world to an end. Then you get, now watch this carefully. So you go into marriage. My God, you've watched it. I will pay a woman. I must bring our world to an end. Then you go in there and you remember what the other guy did, and you did everything the guy taught you. And when you are doing it, this woman of God is there. She's not even saying, She's just watching you do what you are doing. When you are done, she says, are you done? Trouble has started. Am I correct? Can you see that deals a direct blow on your person, your image as a man? Maybe something is wrong with me. Number two, it could be that something is also wrong with who? The woman. All right? So the next thing I want to do is to do what, sir? Go outside, look for another woman, and see if I will bring our world to an end. And if that one is a prostitute that you pay, don't forget again, because she's paid, she will now begin to tell you, oh no, we are starting a universe. We are starting a universe. You are making me start a universe. Whatever you did there, you now want to go back home and experiment. Then you meet with this precious woman of God, who is a spirit-controlled woman, who has the hand of God upon her life, who has practiced endurance. And whatever you are doing, she's just there, just receiving the grace of God on your life. And you're like, God, the other one, universe is beginning. The other one, world coming to an end. This one, nothing is happening here. Before you know, sir, something, you're laughing, but you understand what I'm saying. Be careful. Be careful. So we are told here by this research by Albright in 2008, it said the use of pornography can harm marriages by devaluing the worth of that marriage, devaluing the worth of monogamy, decrease satisfaction with a partner's sexual performance. After all, I've watched better things than that. Affection is affected. Physical beauty, watch this. This is the trick of it. Husband and wife can watch it together. Here's where the point now lies. When my wife and I want to watch it together, sir, watch this carefully. As we decide to watch it, here am I seeing another woman's body image. And the one that they normally bring, if it's white woman, they will bring you white woman whose body image is totally different from your African wife. This is my African queen. And Africa, we are many. God blessed us so much. Amen. Now, but you are watching something very crazy. You've seen something where you've seen the slim girls, you've seen, depending on what you've seen, now you are watching, you either have seen big women or you've seen huge men. Now here you are with a smaller man, or here you are with a big woman, but you've watched slim women. Mirror images in your mind. Here you are, you now begin to feel, sorry, where can I find this? See this one. That's why you start comparing what you've seen in the video with what you are seeing in real life. Are you seeing what is going on here? Pornography is very damaging. Very, very damaging. It increases dissatisfaction with your partner's physical beauty. It decreases desire for sex with your partner. Gradually, you like to watch more than do. That's where it gets trickier. Instead of spending time with this one, let me spend more time watching. According to another research publication on the effect of pornography on relationships, published on the website of Utah State University, USA, reveals the following negative effect of pornography on relationships. Please listen carefully to this. They discovered that those who get themselves used to pornography, eventually on their marriage, this is what will happen. Users face difficulty becoming sexually aroused without pornography. When you are used to pornography, it becomes difficult for you to be sexually aroused without what? Pornography. So your partner no longer excites you. It's the pornographic movie you watch that then gets you aroused. Gradually, number 2, users loses interest and engages in fewer sexual experience with partners, which confirms the other research. Number 3, pornographic consumption may be correlated with increased behavior of hooking up and infidelity. So you can see how that what you watch over time, you will want to connect with the kind of person you've been watching, which may be different from your partner. You've seen tall guys with chests, guys who carry ladies and put them on the table in the kitchen, and your own guy can't carry you. Can you see how this messes up with the mind? It messes up. Here you are. You have this guy that is just 57 kilograms by himself. The total weight is 50. When they even wear the most heaviest clothes, plus the weight of the clothes, his kilogram does not go beyond 58. And then you are watching another guy who is about 110 kg, carrying a small girl who is maybe total weight about 54. You're not expecting a 54 guy to carry you who is even you two know that. That's why you always say, Father God, underneath me are you everlasting. Only God can carry you. So what are some of the consequences by research? What are the consequences of engaging in pornography? User faces difficulty becoming sexually aroused without pornography. Number 2, users loses interest and engages in fewer sexual experiences with partner. Number 3, pornography consumption may be correlated with increased behaviors of hooking up and infidelity. Number 4, partners feel sexually inadequate and threatened by pornographic use. What that means is that if you keep using pornography over time, your partner will become threatened because, look, I can't meet up with what you are watching. Not only that, partner may feel that certain sexual activities desired by user are objectionable. Because when I start watching some of the things you are doing, I'm sorry, some of them I can't do them. You continue to watch anal sex and you want me to be giving you anal sex inside the house. You watch them doing anal sex. As soon as you're watching them doing anal sex, the same man who does anal sex with the woman, you just notice the next thing, the woman is giving him blowjob. So you now want me, you come through anal sex, then immediately again you turn. I should now... Can you see why? Listen to me, singles. Anybody you want to marry, ask a simple question. Do you watch porn? Is that okay? Please. Question. What do you ask? Yeah. Are you still watching porn? That will let you know, that will make you decide what your future together will look like. I'm not telling you to break up. I'm not telling you to leave him. I'm not telling you to continue. You will decide. Because whatever is watching must be experienced. Are you getting what I'm saying here? It must be experienced. Listen to what they discovered also about those who watch pornography. Both users and partners experience decreased relationship, sexual satisfaction, and emotional closeness. Meaning, the porn now becomes what guides the relationship. Emotional closeness is not there. Sexual satisfaction is not dictated by us exploring each other. I will never forget, that was 2002. My wife and I got married, and we're just getting married, and a senior man of God, who is late now, called my wife and I, and he said, look, I know you people are very young, and Pastor Sam, I know you are one kind, now he's somebody. He said, look, there's a particular thing, a movie that pastors are using. They said it guides couples and all of that. I want you. He said, go and get it. So he said it's for couples guide. They say it's like a guide for couples. So me, I thought they'll be telling us, I like information. So I thought they would be guiding us. I said, where can I? We went to Wuse Market. They said they don't know it. We said, okay. Eventually, they said, no, it's in Lagos. I said, can you send it to us? Eventually, we go. The day we saw it, when we put it, I told my wife, so yeah, let's go to the soccer way pit. We broke it. I said, come. I said, sweetheart, the people we are learning from, who did the first man learn from? Why must I be reliving somebody else's experience? I thought the Bible says, if any man lack wisdom, let him. Can't I ask God to show me how we can do this thing together with my wife? Can my wife and I, just in a moment of exploring each other, can't we figure out how to? Must I rely on what somebody else has done? We threw that trash out of our house 24, 25 years ago. And we found our freedom. We found purity in our home. We are fond of each other. Sometimes my wife will ask me, say, where did you get that stuff from? I say, I don't know. The spirit of my father has directed me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Won't it be wonderful for you to go with a clean mind, delete, so that you are not trying to go and live out what Jane and Jonas did in your own marriage? Can you just go into your marriage and trust God and say, God who gave us this thing will teach us how to use it? Am I talking to somebody in the house of God? The church has been infiltrated and nobody's talking to us. Marriages are breaking apart because people have watched too much nonsense that their partners can't live up to. And I know as I'm talking right now, if you are drowning in it, you will find this very offensive. But it is not aimed at making you to be offended. I have come with all humility to get you out of it. It will affect you. Listen to what the Bible says in Job 31 verse 1, New Living Translation. It said, I made a covenant with my eyes not to look with lust at a young woman. Young guys, I made a covenant with my eyes. Can we have that? Look at that. Can we all read it together? Please. And if there's a young woman, make sure that if you're a woman, you put young man there. Is that okay? Can we all read it together? I want to go. What is the goal of pornography? To look and have what? What is the goal? When you look, don't forget what define pornography, that the ultimate goal of pornography is to arouse, is that okay? Which is what we call lust. Is that okay? So he said, look, I have made a covenant with my eyes that I will not be looking at a woman until I become lustful. That anything that will make me look at somebody and generate lust, I will not. It's a covenant. If it's going to lead to lust, I take my eyes off it. Are you catching something here? Ladies, if looking at him is going to make me start, oh my God, Jesus. The moment Jesus is coming, you better follow Jesus to the cross. Just declare with your mouth, I am crucified. Look at what the Bible says. Psalm 101 verse 3, Message translation. Psalm 101 verse 3, Message translation. Chai. Psalm 101. Look at that. Please, let's look at Psalm 101 verse 3. Can we all read it together? 1 to go. I refuse. Church, I refuse. Somebody say, I refuse. You are not, you see, these people, you want to continue happy? You are not talking. Oh yeah, hold somebody, say, now me and you will go refuse. Oh yeah. This is the word of God. Can we do that together again? Want to go? I refuse to take what? How many look? A second look at corrupting. What do you watch in porn? What kind of people are you watching on porn? Corrupting people. Because don't forget that their goal is to arouse sexual desire in you. That is corruption. Is that okay? They want to corrupt your flesh. So he said, I refuse. There's nothing wrong seeing it once, but I refuse to do what, sir? Take a second look. First look is accidental. Second look is intentional. David saw Bathsheba. The first time he saw her taking a bath naked, that one was what? Accidental. Wait, what did I just see? That one is what, sir? It's intentional. I refuse, put that scripture back there. I refuse to take a second. Can everybody live here with just this scripture in your mind? I made a covenant with my eyes that I will not put my eyes on a young maid. I will not keep it there. Number two, here we're saying, I refuse to take a second look. This is where people get into trouble. Is that second look.